Let's go. Let's go. Join. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. We built it. We grind it. That's right, man. We ride it. We cruising. We cruising. Yeah. We built it. We grind it. That's right. Let's go. We ride it. Yeah. We cruising. Yeah. We built it. We grind it.
My name is Michael Marsden. I'm from Nixon, Missouri. I am a retired Air Force and am currently working with the Department of Defense. And we're here to talk about Baby Blue.
So what brought you, have you always lived here in Missouri? What brought you here in Missouri?
No, parents moved here in 72, moved away, moved back in 76. We lived out here in this area for several years, graduated from Willard in 84, and then went into the Air Force. Moved back to Missouri in 2006 and have been here since.
Okay. About what age were you here in Missouri? Were you over 16? Was you younger?
Well, 10 years old up to 20 when I left for the Air Force.
You left for the Air Force?
Yep.
So before you left for the Air Force, did you have an interest in vehicles like trucks, pickups, cars, motorcycles?
Not especially. My dad sold fire trucks, so that was my main focus, was fire trucks. He bought a 1970 CST half-ton in 77 or 78, and that's kind of where my love affair with this body style truck began, even though I was obviously too young to drive at that point.
Okay, so let's go to your service then, since that whole started first, and then when you came out. So first off, thank you for serving for our country and stuff. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And what did you go for when you enlisted?
As far as why did I go in?
Well, we can do both of them. You tell me why, and then which branch did you go for?
Oh, okay. Well, I went into the Air Force in 1985. Kind of a little bit of a sad story. My father passed away in 1981, and the plan was always I was going to work with him selling fire equipment. He had his own company selling brand new fire trucks as father and son. Well, when he passed away, I was only 15 years old. Kind of changed everything. Had no direction. The company was dissolved, and he was a Vietnam veteran, also in the United States Air Force. There just become a time after graduating from high school, I had to make a decision, and that was the decision that I made, was to essentially go in as a quote-unquote legacy.
And how long did you serve for?
I served for 4 years on active duty, had a 14-year break in service, and then did 16 years with the Air National Guard.
Okay. During all this stuff, you have a lot going on and stuff with that. When you came back, what developed an interest into the vehicles, into this car world again?
Actually, the development began when my father passed away. Okay. The 70 truck that we had it became mine when I turned 16. I turned 16 4 months after he passed, and drove that back and forth to school, drove it to work. The summer after my junior year, I had it repainted. It was originally orange and white. I had it painted to a sapphire metallic blue, put new wheels on it, new tires. And then the summer after I graduated high school, pulled the engine and transmission out of it. Had a local performance shop rebuild both of those to a performance level, and drove that until I sold it before I went into the service. So it actually started basically upon my father's death.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. Rest in peace to your father.
Thank you.
Like that too. That's pretty cool. So you had that truck, you went to the service, pretty much. And then when you came out, you still had the truck, correct?
No, I sold it before I went in.
You sold it before?
I knew I was going to be gone for a very long time between basic and tech school. Didn't want to leave it setting. And I don't know, in all fairness, was stupid. I should never have sold that truck, but can't take that back at this point in time.
So when you got out of service, did you kind of like want to try to get it back or anything? Or
no, not so much get it back. I did buy a second one, a 69 half-ton, with the intent of building it. Come to find out, within a couple of weeks, the truck was beyond rebuilding, and just scrapped it about a month after I bought it, and then gave up on this body style truck for several years, actually. and then I came upon a third one several years later.
Okay, and so that's a body style that you kind of stuck to and liked for a while.
Oh yeah.
Did you go any other direction of the vehicle? Or
while I was in the service, I had another Chevy. Sorry for everyone that's oval or ram head. I've been a bow tie guy almost all my entire life. I did have a half-ton four-wheel drive while I was in the service, also a Chevy. Got rid of it sometime after I got out, I don't remember, and ended up getting a car for a short period of time. And from there, again, the third one of this body style that I bought in '96, and started working on that one and kept it for, I don't know, about 8 years. And it became a money pit. Couldn't keep up with it. And it was kind of like, I got to wash my hands of you before I lose my marriage and my sanity. So that was about 20 years ago when I got rid of that one and kind of sort of gave up on it. I hope I can only have to say this one time. Best my memory recollects, okay, or to the best of my memory. When I had the 70, when I turned 16, I was the only person in our school, high school, that had that body style of truck. The only person. By the time we got around to our senior year, there were 2 or 3 other guys in my class, at least, that had the same body style. Once I got it painted and done up with the tires and wheels, I started seeing identical trucks to mine cruising Carney Street. That was big cruiser. So it's kind of the sort of copycat mentality, and I may be wrong in that. That's just the way I remember it. But it definitely, my best friends, we all had these trucks, and it was, we didn't have a club, nothing like that, but we definitely all hung out with each other, and these trucks were our lives at that point in time. 16, 18, 19 years old.
And this was before you went to the service, right?
Yes.
Cruising Carney. So,
yes.
So you got to experience like not only history with the truck, having possibly to be the first one, and then getting buddies and cruising Carney.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Did you guys know who started it, or did you guys create it? Cruising?
Oh no. We came in. I started cruising in '81. When I got my license, cruising Carney was already a huge thing at that point in time, as it had been through the mid and late '70s at least. We definitely fell in with the group, of that day. Couple of us pretty much lived up there. It didn't matter what night of the week. Friday and Saturday obviously was the heavier nights, but we'd be up there cruising every night. And once I got the engine and transmission built, go up there and try and find some people to race, and never raced on the streets like they do today. We went out somewhere where there was a little traffic, or get a good straight stretch of road and try to be a little bit safer. But yeah, I definitely got to experience the heyday of Carney. Thank God for that, because it was shortly after, I think it was sometime while I was in the service, the city of Springfield shut it down. So I was always grateful I got to experience that.
So we'll come back to the whole difference of Carney then, Carney now,
yep.
and what you did. But we're going to go back to your friends of Carney. Didn't you say you had like a fellow friend that did the interview on here with me?
Yeah, well, several people that are Carney famous, Springfield famous. Rick DeCousin, Scott Palmer, Greg Rains, who you've already done with, Clay Phillips, Donnie Munson, Mike Reynolds, Mike Watson. These were all guys that, at that point in time, that were just asphalt, just tore the asphalt up, in this area. Raced out at Ozark Raceway Park, which is out in Rogersville. Raced down at Mocan. Hung out with them. Never raced any of them because their stuff was way above what I had. Mine was an everyday driver that just had a lot of horsepower. Their stuff was definitely set up for drag racing. But no, they were just some of the guys hung out with back in those days.
So a great group of guys. And you guys technically cruise today or hang out today at all?
No, every once in a while when I go up there, which it's not very often, I'll see Greg up there. Most of the other guys don't cruise anymore. They either don't have their vehicles, got too old, aren't around anymore, or have other things going on. So really don't see much of my generation, my group of people up there that much.
So, but at least you got to experience some history back there.
Oh yeah,
today.
yeah.
Now we'll go from there. We'll go to, like, since we're on the subject, let's do like your burnouts, your races and stuff like that, and you would never do it on Carney Street.
No, no.
So today you have some people who do that. Do you have any words of encouragement of them not to do it? Excuse me. You were in the service when it got taken away, but it got taken away.
Yeah.
And that's probably because of that, correct?
I don't know specifically why it got taken away. Our generation's different than what's cruising up there now. We were still kids, 18 to early to mid 20s. We were still doing stupid things. We were having fun. My memory, we weren't doing dangerous things. And what's happening now that I've seen up there, in my opinion, is dangerous. We didn't have spectators lining the street, encouraging people to do burnouts. I don't remember us doing burnouts on the street. The most I remember is, you put your vehicle in low gear and bounce it when you want to race somebody, get their attention. And then I missed racing out by the airport. By the time I was, into that, they'd already put the speed bumps up on that side road. So we'd go out on 13, go out to O Highway, go out to Fantastic Caverns, and then race back into Springfield. So that's where I did most of mine. We didn't do stupid things on Carney. It was just, we had fun. There was obviously an element, just like there is now, where they went beyond the fun part and became destructive and so forth, but it wasn't to the extent that it is now. And it's just the difference in generations.
So if you're going to give them a little bit of tidbit of advice and stuff to say before they might lose it, what would you tell them?
You're going to lose it if the stuff continues the way that I saw last year. There was, I think the last night that we went up there, it looked like Mad Max Fury Road, with people on scooter bikes, the motorcycles racing in and out of each other, no lights, the burnouts, with kids and spectators alongside the road. I'm surprised someone hasn't been killed or hurt yet, to be honest. My thing is, you're going to lose it. That they will shut it down the moment someone gets hurt, or especially if someone gets killed, they'll shut the whole thing down again.
When I got to experience a little bit of the cruising Carney before that, they even had cruising on Battlefield.
Yeah.
And then I took kid away because I kind of remember that.
Yep.
You could experience cruising on Battlefield.
No, I was a Northsider. I grew up in Willard. I was strictly Northside. Never did Battlefield. I think I went down and cruised the Square and Ozark a couple of times, but no, it was just solely Carney Street.
So is it just like Carney Street's like its own, just something special about it? Like
it's its own entity. Yeah.
That's good. So now we'll go from you going to getting your truck, fixing it up, cruising the streets of Carney, going into the service, you get back out, you had your vehicle for a little bit, you got rid of it. Where we go from there? Did you get married?
Yeah, I got married, moved out of state for a while. Again, wanted another truck, missed having that one. Ended up buying one, I want to say it was around 96. Literally the first weekend I had it, I took 2 laps around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They had an event and you could just take the lap around it. That one, same thing, new tires and wheels, did a lot of work to it. Got it looking pretty nice, but it had gremlins in it that you couldn't exercise out of it. And subsequently ended up having to get rid of it just because it was just constantly working on it. And it was an everyday driver as well. So, and then like I said, that was 20 years ago. It was a beautiful truck, all white. Went through 2 sets of tires and wheels on it because I had a major blowout on the interstate with the first set that ruined 2 tires and 2 wheels. And, so that was another, several $1,000s for that. But, and then just kind of gave up on the whole craze at that point in time.
So it seems like you've had trucks all your life pretty much. Any cars up to this now?
No. Whatever cars I had belonged to my wife. Everything I've driven was trucks. Yeah.
So do you have any other vehicles or trucks before you got this one? Like, can you lead me into that? Like, do you have anything else special?
Had 2 4-wheel drive Chevys. One I still currently drive. Both of those. Well, the first one was over 400,000 miles on it. do a lot of driving. One I've got now is 225,000, I think. So I do quite a bit of driving, but nothing special about either one of them.
Okay. What led you to this truck today?
It's actually kind of funny because I've wanted another truck for the last 20 years. This is a 1971 custom Deluxe half-ton long bed pickup. They became so expensive to purchase if they were done well, in good shape. I wanted one, but wasn't really in the market. The Monday before Thanksgiving, a year and a half ago, came across this truck in Marketplace. And looking at it, I had several people sending me, hey, check out this one, check out this one. I found this, I'm like, man, that's a good price. Got to looking at it and how the seller had listed everything on it. I'm like, man, that sounds like a really nice truck. What's wrong with it that he's not putting in the ad? So told my wife about it. My wife and I met in high school. We've known each other for 42 years. We're friends in high school, never dated or anything, but got married 4 years ago. And she remembers the truck that I had in high school. She's like, hey, I go check it out. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be out the money, get stuck with another money pit like the other truck that I had. And I was just eating myself alive. And she finally, I think it was the day before Thanksgiving or maybe even Thanksgiving, go look at the truck. So drove out to Marsfield, met the guy, drove it around, called her and said, I'm coming back to grab a cashier's check. Need for you to, follow me home with it. And we drove it home the day after Thanksgiving. Immediately started doing some work to it. Had just had surgery on one hand, couldn't do a lot of the work myself, but ripped the interior out of it, replaced everything in there, new seat, new foam, new carpet, dash pads, door panels, everything was replaced in the interior versus what it was when I bought it. We bought it because it was something that went back to our teenage days. We both wanted it. She loves this truck every bit as much as I do. In fact, the day that we drove it home, she named it Baby Blue. We both love 70s and 80s music. The truck is named after BadFinger's song from 1971, named Baby Blue. It has a 350 automatic transmission, 350 small block Chevy engine in it. The engine was replaced by, seller told me somewhere like 81, 82, has not been molested since. So still pulls very well for a 40-something-year-old engine. It was already lowered when I bought it. In fact, most everything that you see on the outside was the way it was when I bought it. I did all my work on the interior. So it ended up being the truck that was advertised at a phenomenal price. And here I am now. This is a truck that my wife and I both enjoy tremendously. We've gone up to Carney a couple of times. We really prefer to do car shows, parades, and just get in the truck and go drive out in the country. So it's been a lot of fun for us.
Before we go look at the truck, get up close and personal with it. Some of your car shows you go to, what are some of the questions people ask about your truck? You can answer that to them now.
9 out of 10 will ask me what year it is. They don't look at the license plate because the year is in the license plate, but that's okay. A lot of them ask what the engine is in it, who did the interior work, that sort of a thing. One of the biggest questions I get is because it's a little rough. It's straight, but it does have a little bit of cancer in it, a few blemishes. Actually, the seller told me it's got a 30-foot paint job. It does at that. It looks really good from 30 feet away. Up close, you can see the blemishes. So the main question I get is, what color are you going to paint it when you do it? I'm not. I'm not going to set a nice cold beer on the hood of a $20,000, $30,000 paint job. This truck is for driving. It's not, even though we do the shows, it's not a show truck. I don't want to worry about scratches or all that other nonsense. I've been that route with the first truck that I had. This one, I just want to drive it, and that's what we bought it for.
Yeah, it's more fun when you have a daily or even a truck to just take out and have fun, go to shows and stuff and not worry about that, than having like a strictly show truck that you can't touch it.
Yeah.
And put it out there. I found that out even with my Mustang. I like it too, going out and driving, just having it and not worry about something chipping the paint or something like that.
Right. Now this one, that she is kept in the garage. I will not bring it out in bad weather. Although we did get caught in the Nixa Christmas parade last year in a solid 90-minute downpour with it, but I try to keep it out of the weather just to hopefully slow down the rusting more than anything else. But she stays in the garage.
Have you won any trophies with it?
The only trophy I have won with this, which I don't show for that. I show to, go hang out, have a couple cold beers, smoke a cigar, talk, shoot the shit with people, whatever. The Christmas parade here in Ebenezer, where we're at, I did get a 3rd place trophy in the Christmas parade last year. So
that counts,
hey, it's proudly displayed in my office.
Right, because you don't go out there and tend to win anything, but it's still a beautiful truck. Even 30 feet away or close up, it's still a beautiful truck. So real quick, let's go back. You were talking about how some people get confused with the year and stuff. How would I tell this is a 70 or a 71 or 72?
Okay, so
explain that a little bit.
67 through 72s, there are 67s and 68s are easy to tell the difference from all the rest of them because the whole front clip is different. 67 has a small rear window in the cab. 68s have a full window in the cab. 69s and 70s have a solid chrome bar across the grille. It's very hard to tell a 69 from a 70 looking at them. 71s and 72s have the honeycomb grille in the front, and same thing. It's very hard to tell a 71 from a 72 until you start looking at some of the packages or some of the bells and whistles that are on the trucks. See one going down the road, it's pretty hard to tell the difference.
So isn't there another name they call this out there for the people that don't know? Like a C10 or something?
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Okay, so I've heard people refer to this body style as a square body. It's not. Square body is a 73 to 87. OBS is 88 to, I want to say, 98. I don't know that this has actually been classified a particular type of body, but I do. There is when they came out with this body style in 67, it was a major revamp for Chevrolet versus the 63 through 66, I think was that body style. And the first ad that came out listed it as an action truck. That's what I call it. It is, instead of a square body, it's an action truck. It's like they went from an Impala to a Cadillac between the body styles. So that's just kind of what I call it. Don't know if it's going to stick or not, but.
So basically it's baby blue, the action truck.
Yeah, something like that.
So now we're going to get up close and personal now with it.
Let's go check out what pulls this old girl down the road. So again, not necessarily the original engine, but it was replaced 40 some years ago. So when I bought the truck, it had an electronic fuel injection on it. I took it off, put a new Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor, new manifold on it. Everything else was left alone from when I got it. So original master cylinder. It is an air cab. It has been updated prior to my purchasing it with a 134 system. Blows cold, it works. Heat works as well. Everything else in here is pretty much the way that I bought it. I did replace the hood springs. They were pretty weak, but everything else is as was or as is.
How much of it's original, you know?
Original. I know the block isn't, or the engine isn't, because they said they had to be replaced 81 or 82. The AC was all updated with 134 versus the R12. The master cylinder is original. I have the original radiator. They did put aluminum in it. The rest of it is pretty much original as far as wiring, etc.
It looks really good in here because sometimes you can see a lot of rust or something going on in there and you don't see that.
Now I did pull the grill out because it had just the silver OE grill. Pulled it out and painted it black. Just wanted to do something different with it. Give it a little bit of attitude, I guess.
Can we hear it starting up?
Yeah.
Start it up.
I do with the keys.
Check it out. check real quick.
Yep. I was going to say that's where you're going to get the sound.
Okay.
Go back underneath real quick.
Okay, now come up here. Go ahead and shut it off. Hood and say, we'll just check out the rest of the truck. You know, the cabs.
All right, so now we'll check out the interior, which is where I've done 99% of the work on this truck. So when I bought it, had a full rubber mat in the floor, nasty cloth seat. So I had the seat redone, new foam. I ripped out all the carpet, all the sound deadening, put all brand new, or ripped out the rubber mat, I'm sorry. Put new carpet, sound deadening in it, redid the door panels, new armrests, tilt steering column, new wheel, all new AC vents, new AC controls, new stereo, new dash pad, went to the 3-point safety belts, brand new visors, mirror, and it did not have a roof liner or headliner, and put that in there as well. So really made it about the driving part of it, more so than the aesthetics on the outside.
All right. And that's the outside of the truck.
Yep.
Got some tinted windows going on.
Yeah, I did tint the windows and put a rear slider in it. It just had the solid glass. And I had a buddy of mine make up Rock 99, US 97 decals, since
there you go.
neither one of those stations really exist the way they were at that point in time.
And then these are just some of the little blemishes that you're just enjoying.
Yep.
Character. Kind of
Yeah. Some of them I may end up covering at some point in time, but
and these are wheels came on it?
These are the wheels that came on it. They're not in the best shape. I did polish them up as well as I could, but they're old.
Yeah.
Good tires on them. I did put the bed caps on it because one of the previous owners had...
And these are bed caps, right?
Yes, the stainless bed caps. Okay. One of the previous owners had toolboxes and tool racks, and there's a multitude of holes on there. This was just easier than trying to weld them all full. And I replaced the rear... Good. Yeah, it does. It really helps bring it out. And I did replace the rear bumper. When I bought it, it had an old farm bumper on it.
It's all character.
And had to put the blue dots. I had to do blue dots. Again, throw back to...
And what's the blue dots? Tell me about those.
Okay, so old hot rodding thing. You put... you actually have to cut a hole in your tail light, and you put a piece of blue plastic over the bulb. So when you hit the brakes on this, your taillights look purple.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get that at night sometime.
And I replaced the side marker lights. They just had the generic ones, so I went with the high end. Added the blue dice just for something. Again, another old hot rodder thing.
Is there anything else that you might want to do to this in the future, or is this it?
No. One thing I did have to do, which I knew from the very beginning, the transmission had an interior leak in it. So I just went ahead and rebuilt the transmission, which is way more expensive than the one I built 40 some years ago. Put new exhaust on it, so it's got all brand new custom exhaust. The only thing that I have at this point in time that I have planned is when and if this engine or motor takes a dump and gives up, I'll put a new motor in it. But
that's baby blue.
This is baby blue.
Baby blue. Still a beautiful truck no matter what.
She's straight. I can't complain about that. You can't find these. It's hard to find these in good condition that have not been massaged, and someone spent $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on. So I can't complain. Very happy with this truck. It's honestly probably very close to being the best truck I've had. I'd still say the first one was the best. This one is so close to that.
Right.
I love this body style. It is, in my opinion, it is the sexiest thing that Chevy's ever put out in the way of a pickup.
It's definitely blue.
And it takes my wife and I back to our teenage days, and that's the biggest reason why we end up buying it.
That's all it counts. Makes you happy.
Yep, we love it.
History, and you can enjoy the ride.
Yep, we absolutely love it.
Back roads, I bet this looks beautiful going down there.
It does. I don't know. I'm driving it, but I'm assuming it does. She gets a lot of compliments for.
Well, looking at the outside, you'll know. I mean, it's what it looks like at the outside. So getting in, you can tell.
Well, whichever one of the owners had this that lowered it, they lowered it the right way. Yeah. This thing rides amazing. The shop that does, my hot rod shop that does a lot of the work on this, said it's the smoothest riding truck of this body style they've ever had.
Let's go. Yeah. We built it. We grind it. That's right, man. We ride it. We cruise it. We built it. We grind it. That's right. Let's go. Yeah. We cruise it. Yeah. We built it. We grind it. We ride it. We cruise it. We build it. We grind it. We ride it. We cruise it. That's right, man. We cruise it. We cruise it. Yeah. Let's go, homie. We cruise it. We cruise it.
My name is Marsden. This is my 1971 Chevrolet C10. Thank you for watching Desire to Drive.
We grind it. That's right, man. We ride it. We cruise it. We cruise it. We build it. We grind it. That's right. Let's go. Yeah. We cruise it. Yeah. We build it. We grind it. We grind it.
How come this isn't going?
You got the lids on, Mom.
Oh.